But do you
It's
think it'll
happening.
be in the same page that I made, or is it somewhere else?
What are you talking about?
Like the same live event, or is it gonna be like a different live event somewhere?
Oh, did you put a new live event?
There's 2 live events that I see. One for tomorrow and one for today.
There's one for
Well,
today, I think.
hopefully you did. Does anybody see anything?
Nope, I'm looking at the
I'm
live
getting
event
feedback.
for today.
Chris, I hear you. I hear me through you.
Oh, I see the thing. We're on the second live.
Oh,
Do
fuck.
you want to just kill the other one, Dave?
I don't know what the other one is. Live now.
I don't do anything
While
other
we're
than
live, I'll deal with it. You can just get us rolling, since people are watching and expecting a show instead of us.
Whoa,
dicking
whoa,
around.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Hold on, I'll just have to update the other post. How the hell is the fucking thing?
Just delete this other
Oh
one.
shit, that's the wrong fucking account too. I have to change accounts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to CanadaGuns Talk Show. We're dicking around with stuff.
Yeah.
So many
straight
stuff.
dicking it.
We will be with you in a moment,
Oh
I
god,
guess.
how the hell is
Maybe.
thing?
I don't know.
Well, it will be. It's just stupid. Nope, that's the wrong password. God damn it. Oh, just go. Fucking go. We'll do it live.
Alright, welcome to the Canada Guns Talk Show, episode 91. Well, this sucks. Special gun ban special. We are your hosts, the usual fuckers. I'm Crazy Nine, that's Crover, is the hunting gear guy, and there's Garrett. By the way,
That's beautiful.
none of us,
Sorry.
none of us have any more non-restricted firearms. Every single one of us has sold them to Mike from Canmore.
Well,
No, I
I mean,
sold
you
it to a
might
guy
have.
in the Cabela's parking lot.
Yeah, we
I
have all
had a
sold
tragic
them.
boating accident.
Yep, none of us have our non-restricted firearms anymore. We are just left with our restricteds in their unfortunately non-functional state that they will be rendered if the
Shit.
conservative
Are they
government does
supposed
not.
to be non-functional? Shit, give me a second.
No, you sold the other parts. Like for me, I had this really nice Gersan MC28. Really nice Gersan MC28. Gorgeous gun. Still a fantastic shooter. This is still very valuable, this piece right here. I expect to be compensated. The gun was 300. I expect that this part's 300. The other
So
part,
yeah, these grips here, sold already. Yeah.
Yep, I'm just waiting to take all of this off, and it's going out. But
Yep.
this AR-15 was very valuable. I am expecting for this that I will be getting $1,500.
well, that's
Oh,
the
this is
that's the go
shadow,
fast
so
part,
I
right?
no
have.
fucking around. I want $1,000 for this.
Isn't the lower the go fast part? Isn't this the part that kills the babies? The rest of it's fine. You can buy them, mail them over the internet to other people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the part.
It's just
you got a
this,
trigger
this
lock and put it in a
hunk
box.
of aluminum right here.
Contain the
Angry.
evil in this
Angry
thing.
pieces.
But yeah, in case you haven't guessed by all the fucking sarcasm we're throwing out in this shit, none of us are happy about this fucking
Wait.
proposal.
Wait a second. Wait, you guys are being sarcastic? Oh,
No, we don't have any of our non-restricteds, but we're.
I shouldn't have thrown these all overboard in the boat accident. Fuck!
Did you throw them
Totally
overboard
Totally,
in
totally
PVC
didn't happen.
tubes in bags with oil? Is that how you threw them overboard?
I mean, that's how I transport all my guns
Yeah.
all the time. I
I
got to
put
make sure
my
they
boat
stay in
anchor and
pristine
tossed it
condition.
over. Isn't that what we were supposed to do?
They gotta stay dry.
I
Yeah.
should really read these memos. I may have fucked myself.
So basically,
Fucked
let's
up,
get
Garrett.
let's get on with the usual shit. I really haven't done a whole lot of fucking anything because my gun range is closed because some fucking muppet decided they'd go and take a rifle to the shotgun patterning range and hit someone's house. So, Adriel, what have you done?
I feel like you may have had a hand in that.
Definitely.
Fuck no.
Although, did you
Crazy.
see there was a guy in the sub that posted the
letter,
letter that got
yeah.
sent to him because they thought it was him, but it wasn't actually him.
Or was it?
I love the wording of "You are never welcome back to the Silverdale Gun Club."
Never.
Very definite. Yeah, they weren't. They weren't
A
messing
hard
around.
maybe.
No, that's not even in the gray territory. That was very black and white. Go fuck yourself. They
Indeed.
even included a nice blurb. The police will be investigating you, so go fuck yourself, kind of thing.
The police may investigate you. They forwarded it. Come on.
So yeah, Adriel, what have you done?
Let's see. I helped run a ladies' day. So at Chaz, we ran one of those CCFR ladies' days because there are not really a ton of lady shooters. Well, actually, there's very few of them. At our 3-gun matches, for example, we'll have like 1, maybe 2. So getting some more ladies out should be a priority because they make up half the population, and I
What they do?
don't want them
That's
to
lies.
be voting
That sounds like
against
fake
guns.
news to me.
And so we need more of them to get out and shoot it. And we had a pile of people out there. It was like not nice. It was like 5 degrees, 0 degrees, and we still had like 60 ladies out shooting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I
running
heard about
the.
that weather.
What's that?
Said I heard about that weather.
It's Alberta, right? I thought for sure we'd have fewer people because we had 60 people RSVP, and I'm like, oh, that was before the weather turned though, and now we're gonna get like 30. I was like,
Was
nope,
this
60.
Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah. Saturday is right when that blizzard hit, wasn't it?
Yep.
Friday, Saturday. Yep. Yeah.
That was
So I
fun.
had to pick my sister up. She was coming back from Lethbridge around that time, so
Oh, she got out when she could.
Yeah, so we had a pile of ladies out. We ran a like a shotgun action little bay thing with some of our 3-gun props. I was co-running the rimfire rifle. We had pistol. We had service rifle like AR and Garands and that kind of thing. And then we had a precision rifle set up where ladies were shooting steel out to 5 and if they wanted to 800 meters. So
wow.
You're clicking on yourself, right, Adriel, so that the thing comes through.
not my first rodeo. This thing here. Yeah. So, anyways, it was a really cool event. Really well run. A lot of the guys at Chaz did a good job setting things up. There was like sandwiches at lunch, and there was like a ton of prizes as well. So, all in all, really cool. One of the things I wanted to show today was first aid kits. Do you guys bring first aid kits to the range?
I have a first aid kit in
just
my
built
car.
mine. I just built mine.
Now, do you guys have like a boo-boo kit, or do you have like a trauma kit?
I have a trauma kit.
I got a kit that's meant for like backwoods camping. It doesn't have as much gauze in it as I'd like, and it doesn't have a tourniquet. And I know that those are two things that it really should have in it.
Boo Boo kit and a tourniquet in mine. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, like, I wanted to show like the difference between like boo-boo kit versus tourniquet. I realize everyone who's watching this, my video is reversed, but just imagine that it's not reversed and it says first aid kit, or use the powers of your mind.
Not take, whatever the other word is.
Yeah. So I've had just a scratch and dent kit. I've actually used this quite a bit because it's got like some bug bite crap and whatnot in there. But this is like, I was kind of looking through it today, and I was seeing what could be used if someone like took a bullet, what in here could be used, and the answer is nothing. Basically,
No.
nothing.
You got scissors, so you can pluck the bullet out.
I got some scissors. You could cut the pants maybe with these. I don't think you could even.
Have you
get
tested
into
those scissors? That's
These-
the key in those first aid kits.
No.
Yeah.
How many gauze do you have? One?
I don't know if it has any. It's got a little like cold pack, so you can like crack it. You could crack
nice.
it.
I
You got an outlet.
thought that
pour
was
that in
gauze.
the
I
guy's
was
mouth.
hoping you had a gauze, but you don't have a gauze.
There's probably gauze in here somewhere. There's some like there's a pamphlet on like how to do wound care and
Hey, your new
okay, there's a
standard
combo
first
pack.
aid, they tell you to download the app. They're getting away from books entirely. Download the
no
app.
way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you've got something good in there. You've got a whole lot of plastic for sucking chest wounds.
Yeah.
Yep. Some real crappy little latex gloves, very thin latex gloves. A
Very easy to
whole-
grab them too.
Yeah, I got a rape whistle there, so if I'm being
Oh,
molested,
nice.
I can
Yep.
I can whistle and tell everyone how much of a good time I'm having. And that's about it. So I think like this is a boo-boo kit. This is a kit where it's like I got so much bug bite stuff in here, and this is just what it came with, right? So if anyone gets a bug bite, I'm covered with this thing. But not really fantastic if anyone's like bleeding all over the place. So I took a Stop the Bleed course summer this year, and this company's like, "Yo, you want a first aid kit to like try out?" I'm like, "Yeah, send it over." I'm not sending it back, by the way. So I need one of these things. And this is a bit better kitted out for this kind of thing. It doesn't have the cat's tourniquet. It's got
Dude, if it's got a tourniquet, it's already 1,000 times better.
Yeah, it's got one of these wrap ones where you have to like wrap against itself, which like trying to do this, like if I get nicked myself or get a bullet myself, trying to put this on one-handed is going to be a nightmare. Whereas you can do it with the cats. But everything else on here is really cool. Like there's
is that the one that's like the plastic and you fucking twist her hard and
yes,
yeah,
that's the
stick.
cat one. Yeah, the windlass is what that's called. That one that you torque it on. Now you can put those on yourself. This being just like a roll of material, like stretchy material, you'd have to like try to get the just getting it started would be a pain in the ass.
yeah, you're not putting that on
The answer
yourself.
is no. One-handed, you're not gonna do that on yourself.
No, but your buddy could. So as long as there's someone else,
If you get
would
shot
be
in the
good.
arm, you're all right. The leg
Right.
is where the death is.
And then it also came with some like compressed gauze, so you can pack the
Nice.
hell out of it, which should be good. And it also came with some little hemostatic, like chest sucking chest
Oh,
wound things.
perfect. That's something that a lot of people don't know about the hemostatic shit.
You know, that's one thing where it's like, if I take a bullet in the chest, this, like, not having something like this is like, or someone who knows about the plastic trick with the tape and that kind of thing, you're toast in like minutes, maybe 1 or 2, and that's it. You're toast. So, I thought this was really cool. They put 2 in here, and at first I was like, why 2? Like, why not just 1? But I'm like, oh yeah, bullets go through. You're gonna have 2 holes to deal with. Oh, big brother.
Just plug the other one with your finger.
Yeah.
They did that in Pearl Harbor, and that movie's factually correct.
Yeah. There's a
You're
bunch of really
factually
cool
correct.
stuff in here. Better gloves. They got the eye wash. They've got this little like splinter out thing, which I'm probably not going to use, but it's got like these little really sharp pointed metal like punches kind of a thing that you'd use for like picking at a splinter, I guess. Some better scissors. And then these are all like some vet wrap. These are all on like a strap, so you could just pull it and it'll just come out and it'll keep in there. Kind of neat.
Kind of neat.
Yeah.
What's the blue? Is that a pocket mask?
Yeah, a little CPR
Good.
face shield.
Good.
Nice big roll of bandage. Nothing in the middle. So this is cranked right full of bandage material, and then a whole bunch of gauze and whatnot in behind here as well. And the one that I couldn't figure out, like I had to like Google it, was this one. It's like a nice fine fiber sticker,
That's moleskin.
and it's for
Blisters.
yeah. I'm like, what the hell is this?
I have no idea.
Why would
What?
you?
You
But
can
yeah,
also
you get
put it on
blisters.
your wiener, make it
Yeah.
look bigger.
Yeah. Change the color of it to a normal color, I guess. Yeah.
That would look weird on me.
Isn't Stop the Bleed that one thing founded by a bunch of U.S. doctors who are gun owners, and the whole idea was like teaching people, like getting people first aid training to deal with gunshot wounds in specific.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
it's-
how you deal with gunshot wounds is you pack it and you pray.
packet.
Unless it's in the chest.
Tourniquet, if you've got one and you can. Otherwise, pack it. Otherwise, pressure the heck out of it. And that's really what that course is.
And pray.
And pray. Yeah, don't forget thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
But I've done first aid.
But I was told thoughts and prayers aren't good enough.
They're not. But
never
I'm glad I have one of these. We've got them for 3-gun. Like 3-gun, all of our admin boxes have one, and we just added those in this year, which is a good idea. But now I've got my own kit that I can take to Maple Seeds or something like that. So that's kind of interesting and something I thought that I'd bring up that's not really gun related. But yeah, I guess that's it for me. I'm gonna go grouse hunting. Gonna run a 3-gun match. Do all that kind of like regular stuff. More Maple Seeds this year yet.
Gonna use a shotgun this year for grouse hunting or what?
No, 22. 22. I was just like, talking about that with some of my buddies on Slamfire, and they're like, shotguns. I'm like, wow, why? Why not just a 22? I need all that meat. I don't like. I hate the idea of like little lead pellets in the meat.
You don't like crunchy. You don't like crunchy chicken.
It just rips right through it, man. You don't even know it. Pre-tenderizing.
Pre-tenderizing, yeah, and leave little like tiny invisible little lead flecks in there that you eat up and.
Yeah,
Get
it's
yourself
delicious.
some. I got to worry about my lead intake, right? I shoot a lot. I'm around a lot of shooting, so
Fair enough.
I got to try to not eat it, not use it as a seasoning.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, here I am with my lead plates.
Yeah, they're great, sturdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well-
nice you can carve your name into them, and then when you're done, just smear it back over.
There you go. Yep. But I'm in the same boat as you guys. I mean, I just got all these partial guns that I can't really do anything with because I sold all the other stuff. But
Hard to hunt.
I still demand full value. I got a bow for hunting. I'll just use that.
Well, you see, Adriel, that trigger you got there is probably worth what they would pay you for the whole gun anyway.
Oh,
so
I'll have to
fuck
take that
you.
out. That's already sold. I'm just. I
Oh,
gotta
right.
put it in
Sorry.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So-
But
Unfortunately, I cannot actually continue with that joke because I did not have time to pull the upper from this. But the upper is sold anyway.
He's
so whatever.
burying
it's 2
it.
pins. Come on.
Yeah. The upper is sold anyways, and I put a trigger tech trigger in there. Oh, hold on. That's
Whoa,
not
it
a
was
round
hot.
that's rolling on the ground right there.
That's a dummy round. Dummy round.
They're rolling
Tell me,
dirty.
Just to prove it, those are the fakies.
Yeah.
Anyways, before I get my dog shot, there it is. And trigger tech, trigger, whatever, you know what we're talking about here. That's the
triggered.
take up. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. That's the take up because it's a 2-stage. Oh, fancy. And there's the break. Hold on. Ooh,
What have you got that set to?
it's the factory 3.5 pound trigger, not adjustable.
Ah.
You don't need to adjust
First,
that.
Nice.
the first half is 0.75 of a pound. The second half is 2.75. Yeah. So
This is a 3.5
they
single
say
stage. that I got.
that this is a competition trigger, and I'm inclined to agree with them. Again, these are dummies. Don't freak out. That was just a screw bit that fell down. Yeah.
Yeah.
except that's a 2-stage. Why did you get a single stage?
I just bought. Like I was looking through the triggers that they had, and Trigger doesn't have a single stage that I could find.
They have single stage adjustables.
Yeah, but those ones are like $400, so fuck that. That one is two. In reality, let's be honest. Like with that take up, that first stage, it's not there. It's a 2.75 single stage, really.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. You just
Yeah.
pull through to your wall and then smoke it.
Yeah, what I haven't had a chance to test is I don't want to keep pulling the trigger on this.
'Cause it's, yeah.
So this is a rimfire, nothing in the pipe, and it's got a magazine disconnector, so boo, we can't try the trigger. But even if I could, I wouldn't because it's a rimfire, and this one I definitely don't want to mess with because this is also a Smith & Wesson Model 41. And what's notable about these things? I don't know, they're super fucking neat. That's basically it. It is somehow still not as large as my revolver, so I don't know what that says about me.
Tiny.
The barrel,
penis.
yeah, that's it. The barrel, however, is shorter, but this one's got dankness up the ass because it's got a muzzle brake for a 22.
And it's huge. It's
And
That'll
it's
really
the
help with those
hugest 22.
stinger rounds.
So I did try the trigger at least once. I put the magazine in there empty, and it's disgusting. I don't know what the trigger is on that thing, but I'm guessing it's like 2 pounds, maybe. Maybe. So I'm gonna test it out. I think on Friday, and I'm gonna test out that AR trigger, and then guess never shoot him again come October. Anyways, no, because actually no, it's only a proposed municipal handgun ban, right? That doesn't mean that it's gonna happen, right? Of course,
Yeah,
we're
no
talking about
handguns
Calgary.
in the city.
No handguns. See, that's the thing. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself too much here, but no way there's a snowball's chance in hell that passes anywhere west of Ontario, except Vancouver.
Frankly, even if they try it, it will hit an injunction in the Supreme Court immediately upon being enacted because it's unconstitutional.
Yep.
The
anyways,
handgun ban
we're
would have
getting
to be
ahead of
national or
ourselves.
not at all.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's what I've been up to, basically. That's my update, other than I sold all my non-restricteds. Adriel, how about you?
We already went through him.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you did everything. Crazy.
I already did mine too. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I bought some slugs. That was about it.
Oh, did you get that tenda deal?
Yep, I got that tender deal.
Oh,
on
it's
Score
such a
Stuff.
good deal. 169 for 250 slugs.
Yeah.
169, 159.
I think it was 159.
Oh.
It ended up being 100. Hold on, I got the bill right here. I can check. It was 180 after taxes. It was 159.99.
What brand?
Score.
Oh, okay. I
You
have
could buy those straight off the truck, bro.
pretty sure I bought this is way back in the day, but I also bought from GoTenda before they pulled their shenanigans. I bought their S&B slugs for about the same price.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But those are
I've
full
bought
power.
the S&Bs from them before as well. And I ran out of them a while ago. And it was just like, I haven't shot my shotgun in a while, and I don't really feel like shooting trap. But if I get some of these slugs, what the fuck? Yeah, they're reduced recoil, so they're probably not going to run in a semi. But
Did they still come pink?
No, they will 100% run in a semi.
Are those
it
those
depends
pink
on the
ones?
semi. I don't
Like,
know. What
if you have a stupid semi, they might not run. But
Yeah.
if
But
you have a
the
big-
shotgun that I totally don't have anymore was lever action, so it doesn't matter.
no, you sold
now
that
I'm-
shotgun, doesn't you? So yeah.
I sold the shotgun, and I sold all the slugs with it.
Yep.
Because I don't own the gun anymore. There's no point in having the ammo.
Yep.
It was a good deal while it while it lasted, but yeah. Anyway, Garrett, what have you fucking done?
For realsies, I actually sold my AR, bought a lower, and I just wanted to spend more time on the WK, which also got sold in the unfortunate gun sellery.
I
Yep.
just got my MB mag release in for my WK, but unfortunately,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
have it anymore. Yeah.
Was it as nice as I?
It was
Hyped it up
very
to be?
nice. Yeah, it had like a little skeletonized button on it and everything.
Yeah, did it look like?
Here,
Where's one?
stick it around here. Come on.
Right
Looked
here.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just rotate that thing here.
Hold on.
Yeah, rotate.
Did it look like this?
No, the mag
you look
release was
cute.
a bit more skeletonized. I can go grab it. 1 second.
Oh, super fancy. But other than that, no, I took
Hungry?
my WK to the range, got her sighted in for 200 yards for deer hunting because I'm going to shoot a deer with it this year.
WK?
Yeah, bud. 63
Well,
grain.
They don't have
You
a
were
caliber
going to shoot a
restriction.
deer with it.
It is 22 250 or larger in Manitoba. So 223 is a go.
Oh, well, look at that. So you're going with a 62 grain, not a 70?
Yeah, 63 grain.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to keep your shots under 100 yards?
I'm gonna shoot the deer at wherever it comes out at. I got 10 rounds in the mag.
just
Tenderize, I think, is how you described it, right?
Yeah.
whoops.
Yeah. Take a
But,
look. Take a look at that little guy.
Holy,
Nice, hey?
that one's super sweet.
Yeah.
Extended and long.
Yeah, it looks cool. I wish I had a
Nice.
gun to put it in.
Well, I know. You can put it in your airsoft rifles.
Suppose, yeah.
You'll have to switch over to that.
Well,
But,
assuming we're allowed to have those after they ban the advertisement of assault weapons or the depiction of assault weapons.
Garrett,
Of
my
enjoying
son
them.
does not approve of your use of 62 grain.
Well, he's not the one putting meat on the table, is he?
I mean, what's the twist rate in those WKs? Could you push a 70-something grain out of it?
Yeah,
I'm
it'd
pretty sure
probably
they
be
all have
pretty
1
good
in
for
7
it.
or 1 in 8.
If it's a 1 in 7, you could get a 70-something grain. That'd probably be a lot better. Like those Hornady tap defense, because they're hollow points, pretty much.
But those vortex rounds are for deer hunting, anyways. So. And
There's the copper.
realistically, if I see a deer at 150 yards, it's going to be in so thick of bushes, I won't be shooting at it. The furthest part where there's open where I'm hunting is about 100 yards anyway, so I'm not
Okay.
really too worried about it. And then worst case, I don't see deer there, and then I'll have to acquire a new one that isn't sitting at the bottom of a lake. But I'd imagine I'd get a 30-06, and that would do me just fine.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say before my son decided to proclaim his distaste for 223 for deer was that don't be that guy that blames the fucking round for performance when it is everything stacked against it and it still gets the deer.
Yeah, I read that. I'm not really worried about it, man. It's
No. Like I said, if you keep it on 100 yards,
oh.
yeah, you're good.
Even at 200 yards, it'd still be no problem. Deer aren't tough around here. They
Deer
die
aren't tough
very
in
easily.
general.
Yeah.
You just need to shoot them in the right place. Too many shooters blame the cartridge, but they made a shitty shot on the deer. Anything in
the
the
move, right? And then
No, shoot them in the mouth, and they'll surely die. Maybe they won't die that day or that month, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never had to actually even shoot a deer on the run because they always just seem to stand there and look at me and then get shot. I'm not a very skilled hunter, but I've never really been challenged. So it's easy to shoot them when they just look at you. Like, what?
Yeah. Like, are you my friend? Bang. Nope.
The one I shot, we were driving down the road to our hunting spot, and there was this deer looking at a doe just right on the travel road through the property. So I get out of the truck, walk over. He's just eyeing up the tail of that doe. I shoot. He falls over. Doe just walks away about 50 yards. I'm like, okay, got him. Let's go get him. I walk over to him without my rifle. He gets up off the ground, runs over to the doe. I run back to the truck, get my rifle. I go over. Right as I'm about to pull the trigger on him, I see the doe right behind him. I'm like, shit. So I pull the rifle up. I fire another shot right over his fucking head. He turns around, runs about 20 yards. Doe hasn't moved. He goes back to the doe, mounts the doe. Then I shot him. So it's not really a skilled hunting thing that I do. It's more lucky than good.
It's shopping. You're shopping for meat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, I want the one. I was looking. I wanted to see how large the deer's penis was before I shot him.
That's something you must take into consideration after all, right?
I want that big dick energy.
Oh yeah, somebody on the chat says deer have evolved. Everyone uses magnum calibers to take them down now.
Yeah, it's 300 Win Mag or nothing, right?
Yep. No, it's 338 Lapua. No, it's 338 Lapua. You need a 12-pound gun with a muzzle brake.
No, you.
I always
obviously everyone now is using these high-powered deadly assault weapons that. The high-powered deadly assault weapons that fire 420 millimeter bullets a second.
Yes.
It always impresses me to no end when someone puts the 300 Win Mag up. It's like, oh, it's my rifle. I'm going to use it for deer. What kind of fucking deer are you shooting that you need 300 Win Mag? But I mean, like, awesome, because, you know, you hit that front shoulder, you're taking both of them out, but sweet.
And then some. And you're dumping a pile of energy on the hill behind it, too.
Oh, yeah. My 30-06 with 150 grain.
Hey! Don't downplay 300 Win Mag. It's very flat shooting.
It probably is. But...
It is. Yeah. Especially if you run coppers in it. You run like a 150 copper in that thing.
Yeah.
That thing is screaming out of the barrel, and it will do the job on a deer.
Is it past 4,000 feet per second?
No, but fast.
Well, no. The only reason that I ask is because 223 out of a 20-inch barrel is 3,000 plus feet per second, right? So 115 grain out of a fucking Magnum.
No, 150. 150.
Well, 150. Okay, I was like 115. Holy shit!
Caliber, usually around 150.
Okay, that seems a little more reasonable because it's like 115 grain over a Magnum caliber. It's like holy fuck, bro.
Yeah, it makes it flat shooting and very flat shooting, and you could take a deer or elk or moose or whatever at range with that combo.
Ain't fucking around with 150 grains.
And how much speed you're putting behind it, but who cares? Most people don't shoot deer or moose or elk that far, anyways.
No,
I know that's like around here, man. Even 200 yards is a pretty long bomb on a deer, but there's just not that much open space, right? So
I got a field with my tower of power where I can make a. I got 500 yards of visibility all around me, and I usually take deer at around 300, or in coyotes about the same, right around 300 out of that thing, just because I can, and because I know the distance.
If you can see and you got the distance, right? Like everywhere, the 2 places I have stands we hunt from, and where I set up ground blinds and stuff, there's like 150 yards is a lot of open field, right? So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
I was planning on going hunting, but obviously I can't because I don't own any unrestricted.
No, I know. That was my problem. I figure that I'm just going to buy one the day of, go shoot a deer, and then return the firearm.
Flintlock?
I could build one.
Yeah, one of those
They have those
Cabela's
kits at the guns. Yeah.
Well, technically you could build a 12-gauge shotgun out of some pipe and a nail. So
Yeah. I've got lots of 12-gauge shells left over because my ammo's been hard to sell.
yeah, but
And
you
I
will
didn't-
sell it.
Well, I didn't want to, it's all lead, and I was going to take it boating with me, but then I thought of the ducks and the fish. So
I'm
I
pretty
brought
sure I
it.
still use lead fishing weights.
Well, you could just burn it all and then turn it into tire weights.
Turn it into nice
No,
smoke.
they get mad
goes out
because they
into the
doesn't have
sky.
that zinc in them. They want that sweet zinc.
Yep. But you know what time it is? It's time for beer number 2 because it's that kind of fucking show.
So, there's
Carp
someone
off
wanted to
or
know
what?
about the VZ58 in the chat. The answer is it's a good rifle. It's going to be banned.
Yeah.
Bam!
Buy it, enjoy it, sell it.
They're fantastic. Have you?
Yep.
You guys have you owned one?
I
think I
owned
shot
one, and then I
twice.
sold it, and then I bought. No, and then I shot that gun that I sold during my bachelor party because my buddy owned it.
They're really cool. I mean, they're in terms of your AK style rifles, they're very compact. Like if you look at even the SKS Type 81, a lot of the other rifles, the magazine is quite forward to the trigger guard, whereas on the VZ58, the magazine is basically right on top of the trigger guard. It's very compact. So that's actually I kind of like that because it keeps mag manipulation and whatnot all on you. It's got
And
a
the
really
magazine release is really nice.
Yeah, the mag release is really nice. It's just a high quality firearm. The striker assembly, all that kind of stuff is really cool. I found it's been a while since I owned one, but I found that it wasn't as easy to take down and strip and clean as a
AK.
as an AK or your Type 81 style rifle.
Or an,
but,
actually, no, the SKS. I hate the takedown of an SKS.
oh, I love the takedown of SKS, but that's kind of I've done it for so long, and
Yeah.
I like it.
Then again, I just hate the SKS. So
No, actually,
I was watching.
Tommy.
I prefer it because like the SKS, you pull that little lever, everything comes out. With the Type 81, there's got that cover that you got to like fiddle on there.
I mean, that's like an AK, though. You've got the tab at the back, and then the dust
Yeah.
cover comes off. The whole bolt
Yeah.
assembly comes out.
Yeah,
Takes down like an AK. But I know from in-range TV, I watched their mud test on the VZ58, and it fails miserably.
I mean,
well, it's
all
because
they all
it's
do.
open. Like it's just it's open. It's
Yeah.
like the
Well,
guts of the gun. When you pull the bolt back, there's the guts of the gun.
One thing I found hilarious, a Ukrainian news network used that as propaganda against the Russians by portraying that VZ58 as an AK.
Oops.
I mean, like on that show, mostly what passes are like the ARs or the things that are very tight and hard to get.
It's-
money.
Whatever,
it's about
whatever is
what-
closed. Whatever's
Whatever's closed.
This right here. Oh, look at that! I just closed the entire.
The AR did well. The Scar 17 did fantastically because when they close the bolt, all the holes on that gun are closed.
Although
So-
one of the things that was most interesting is they tested a 416, which is a piston AR, and they found that it wasn't as reliable as ARs because the vent holes on the bolt carrier group, in the bolt carrier group actually shit out a lot of the gunk that sticks to the bolt carrier. And in the 416, because it's a piston gun, it doesn't have that series of holes in the bolt carrier group, so it was pretty much as good as an AR with the gate closed, with the dust cover closed, but as soon as you open the dust cover and shit got on the bolt carrier, it carried it into the action when the
Yeah.
bolt cycled back.
Ram it in.
But we're digressing. Buy the VC at 58, tactical the fuck out of it, and then loose it in the lake.
Yep, enjoy it for the next 3 weeks.
Well, he was
3 weeks.
mentioning there that they just did a 3-day pond test on it, and that was no problem. So if you lose it boating when you're duck hunting or whatever, it should be fine.
How did the Remington 783 hold up on that 3-day duck test?
You mean it turned into a long piece of rust?
Everything Remington just turns into a long piece of rust.
I assume the stock would survive, right? I mean, plastic doesn't rust, does it?
No, Remington plastic rusts.
Oh. Uh-oh.
It's hilarious. There was a post on Guns today from somebody that owned. God, what the fuck's it? I think it was a Remington V3, and he said that. Oh yeah, I took it out hunting. It rained yesterday, and now the gun is rusty. Like everything on it is rusty. The trigger got rusty. The bolt got rusty. The springs changed color. That one made me chuckle the most.
Which rifle are we talking about right now?
V3.
That's their
Oh,
3-inch Versamaxi type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I found that incredibly amusing that the gun basically just lived up to its reputation.
See, I must
SLR.
have gotten.
Best?
Go ahead.
Sorry, what's the best 5.56 NR rifle? I have WK, but I could spend another 2.5K on one. SLR.
ATRS Modern Sporter is better than the SLR, but the SLR is available.
But the thing is, I was talking with Janitor actually, and I take his word pretty highly, and the ATRS that he's seen is sloppy. It's basically like, imagine like a PSA quality AR upper and lower for 4 times the price.
Well, it is more sloppy than the SLR, but the SLR like bolts itself together, so like your upper and lower, like there's a bolt in there. There's a bolt.
I will
get in there
100% discredit. Yeah, I will 100% discredit the way that the SLR comes together, but it's built better.
They're working on a new version.
I fucking hope so.
They've got a new version that's all fancy.
How's that Troy 308 non-restricted?
Oh, the Troy 102?
Yeah.
Well, it's a BCL that doesn't suck, so that tells you that.
I forgot that
Does that
SFRC
mean
would
good
have.
or bad?
That's good.
It
No,
seems
that's
like
good.
the same.
It's basically it should be a cheaper stack 10.
Yeah,
If it's going to be as
isn't it like
functional,
almost the same price as
it's about the same as a BCL and better quality. So if the Conservatives win the election, I might buy one.
We're not gonna get into it yet, but don't hold your horses on that. Yeah. Anyways, is there any other updates that we don't have to be depressed about discussing?
Nope, just go on to the politics.
GSG 16. It's coming.
Oh yeah, GSG 16.
I need 110 rounds.
110 rounds. I owned one of the 1022 110 round drum mags before I got rid of my 1022 110 round drum mag, and that was a lot of fun. It's incredibly satisfying, and I got through about half the drum before my finger literally quit because you can't pull the trigger that much.
Oh, reloading rimfire
Did
mags
you get
is
the little cranky
horrible.
trigger thing?
Those are illegal
I'm
in
pretty sure
Canada.
those are illegal. Yeah.
Oh,
Rubber band is what you meant to say there.
yeah.
Or just a stick, because you can bump fire with a stick in the fucking trigger guard.
Yeah. No, I mean, with that ladies event on the weekend, I loaded 1,000 rounds in magazines, and my fingers were just like shredded by the end of the day.
Bro,
It's like,
do you not up Lula?
so up Lula on 22s with like 6 different kinds of mags? No.
The mini.
No,
the mini one.
there is a 22 specific up Lula.
I have a 22 specific up Lula, and I used it on 2 of the mags, and it wouldn't work on the other ones. It wouldn't work on the Ruger mags. It wouldn't work
Oh, no.
on. We had some
Fucking
weird
angling
AR
Ruger.
mags, like an AR 22.
You know what you do with the Ruger mags is you take like a jar lid and you cut a slot just the right size of the mag and use that to pull the spring down, and you just drop the rounds in and then release the spring tension.
What the fuck? What?
What?
Because on those, if are you talking about the 2245? for the Ruger?
No,
No.
the 1022.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the 22 pistols where they've got the tab on the side. You pull down the spring tension.
those are easy.
You get a jar and hold that
No, those are
down.
easy.
Yeah.
No, those ones are
Jar,
easy.
use your fingers and pull it down.
It's easier to get a jar lid and just.
It is easier
press
to
the jar
just
lid.
keep it down somehow, but yeah, I know what you mean, crazy. The fucking 41 uses magazines that are based. Well, I don't know who came first, but they look a lot like the model, the 2245 mag.
Anyways, back to the GSG 16.
Yes.
The word
When's
on
yours
the
coming
street-
in and then selling it immediately after?
Well, as soon as it comes in, then I'll get it because it's paid for and the mags are paid for. So
Are you gonna do the MP5 look and are you gonna get that 3D printed thing? That
I've
makes it look-
already ordered that. Already ordered the 3D printed handguard thingy, and I'm
Nice.
rolling the dice on the fixed airsoft stock that the guy bought the adjustable one and it fit. So I'm going with that fixed one will fit.
Let me know if it does, because I would buy one if the MP5, like if it had the fixed MP5 look, I would buy one.
In theory, it should fit because it's the same company for the same airsoft gun that the manual one he put in, like the adjustable one. So I'm assuming that it'll go. We'll find out. But that's all I'm excited for it. I just need to buy a not shitty red dot for it, I guess. But that
I
can
mean,
wait till
buying
it comes in.
shitty red dots is kind of the go-to
That's my thing.
right?
That's my thing, man.
Everybody, has everybody, just a quick poll, has everyone here owned a shitty red dot?
Let me show you one.
I've got the shittiest.
I bought my
Because
technically, no.
I don't think I've owned a shitty red dot before.
I got
But,
4, but I
what
put them on my kids' Nerf guns.
No.
Oh yeah.
What I do want to say is I want to buy this because this is a CZ 512 tactical. A buddy of mine has a SR22, the tactical 1022, and what he did is he put one of those TNA fake suppressor cans on it, and that looks so slick on a rifle like this because it's a slightly recessed. The barrel's already short enough, so it looks even better. It comes threaded, and I really dug the look of that. And I have a shop in town here in Calgary that sells those magazines that are usually like $50 for like 30. So I could buy the 25 rounders without having to buy the SVI adapter for them.
I see what looks like maybe an EOTech, but it's probably Chinese.
Oh, it's the
Yeah, no,
Chinese Neotech.
It's a Biotech.
But remember, I can't use it. If you guys can read that.
I'm surprised they spelled that correctly.
I gotta say though, I put it through the torture test on the old Bluey there, the old Crovered shotgun, and I put 100 rounds through that shotgun. This thing not broken, still holding the same point of zero that it was when I started. So,
How
Durable.
is my old shotgun doing?
it was doing good until this happened.
What am I looking at? Talk.
That is the bolt, and the one extractor on the left side broke. So it doesn't eject shells appropriately anymore. High brass
But it's
will
got
not
two
eject.
extractors. Why wouldn't the other extractor pick up the slack?
High brass it won't extract. Anything low brass it'll extract. Like short shells, like anything that's short, it will eject. But if it's got high brass, the brass expands enough where it doesn't have enough pull to pull it out. So, but the part's on the way, so it'll be fixed soon enough.
And then sold immediately.
Well, it's pending sale on being fixed, of course.
Right.
That one I couldn't just throw that one in the water. That one needed to be that's
Well,
a
no, you
collector's item.
didn't throw it in the water. They just happened to fall in the water.
No, I threw it because I was trying to get everything off the boat I could so the boat would make it short.
Oh, I see. It was an emergency.
Yeah. People's lives are more valuable than firearms, everyone. That's the whole point we're trying to get across here.
That's exactly the way we're going to segue into.
Even if it could save just one.
Congratulations! The Liberals did worse or better than our predictions. Adriel, do you remember what the fuck we were joking about a year ago?
I was hoping you did, because I can't remember shit.
I think I was saying that whatever they did would come after the election.
Oh well, you couldn't have hoped for blackface to ever be a reality. but
Blackface
it did.
4.
Is it 4? Is it at 4 now? Holy
It's at
fuck!
4 now.
The problem is it hasn't had the effect in the polls that everyone was more or less hoping it would.
The
See, I think-
sponsored polls.
No, see, I think, and this is going to completely go off the topic of guns, is regarding blackface, they should have gone with the hypocritical aspect,
I thought
not
they
the
did.
fact that it's racist. I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. It is the hypocrisy.
Well, that's the thing that I've had a problem
hypocrisy
with.
of making yourself out to be a champion of rights and freedoms and respect and equality and all of that jazz, and doing that as a bold-faced lie to all the people that he made out to be this great champion, and he's just another
Guy.
fucking
Regular.
dude that does the blackface. What the fuck is this? Like, the guy, they should have just gone with like, look, this guy is the epitome of hypocrisy. What the
He
hell
is,
is he
and
doing
that
representing?
was what Scheer was pushing, but not hard enough. But every news outlet was talking about the racism of it rather than the hypocrisy. The thing with it is, I wouldn't have given much of a shit if it wasn't for the fact that it shows him to be such a sanctimonious hypocrite.
The big thing is, you gotta wonder if they're because these bombs should have been dropped the week before the election, not a month before. So you gotta wonder, what else do they have on deck? Because they've got to be having something pretty good. If this is what they're like giving us, a month in event where people are already going to forget, nobody's going to care, right? So what's right? Is there going to be? There's going to be a picture of Trudeau grabbing some woman's breast, and then that's going to be the one. While in blackface, probably.
I'm still expecting, even if he gets caught literally sexually assaulting someone, that there will be liberal fucking cheerleaders who are going to say, "Oh no, it's fine. He blah blah his actions now." They'll fucking try and dismiss it.
One of
He's
the
woke
ones
now.
that, yeah, no, one of the news clips that I saw was a rally in Saskatchewan or something like that. I don't know, and it was somebody saying, "It's like, you've made mistakes in the past, but I would still have you teach my children." And I just thought to myself, that's it. His brand is too strong. They are literally unable to see the facts, and we are going to harp on facts tonight, folks. This is going to be facts. The guy is a hypocrite.
According to the liberals, it's a fact that no one needs an assault weapon.
Yeah, you don't need him to hunt.
You don't need him to hunt. They're only for shooting people. They're for killing the maximum amount of people possible.
Which is funny that they're then giving it to our police forces in increasing numbers. What does that tell you about what the role of
when
police is?
the post showed up on the mod queue, I was like, I mean, I see your point, but I also see the way this looks, and it's like, God damn it, I have to approve it, don't I? And then I did. Oh, by the way, there's mod news coming up, so stick around for me telling you why I'm literally the worst thing beside Hitler.
Why
No,
you are literally a
Nazi.
I
Nazi.
thought you were baby Hitler.
No, dude, I can't grow the
Hitler too.
mustache.
The
I
Hitler.
physically can't grow the mustache. Nothing grows under my nose.
Same.
Yep.
So you're from Argentina, right? Right, Clover? Do you know your
Say
heritage?
that I am a clone of Hitler.
Yeah, a shoddy Argentinian clone, not a good quality German one.
Yeah. My name is Adolfo.
Named for your
You are the
grandpappy?
Norinco Hitler.
You want to know what the worst part is? I had a cousin named Adolfo. He's dead now. Anyways, let's keep going with this fun ride. Assault weapons ban. Assault weapons ban. Assault weapons ban. Assault weapons ban. Have I made my point clear? This is what the liberals are harping on. Assault weapons ban.
No,
Does anyone have
they
a
haven't said assault
fucking
weapons.
clue what an assault weapon is?
That's not what they're calling them. They're calling them semi-automatic assault rifles. They are assault rifles.
Either way, basically, it seems like what their definition of it is they're going to let the RCMP decide. Which means we are going to end up exactly like Australia, where things that look like they're semi-automatic are also going to be banned.
Don't we already have that? Blaze 47?
Yes. In fact, going back to our point about facts, assault rifles, which are by design, because definition, there is no definition for them, by design are, what is it? What is it, Crazy?
So an assault rifle is a select fire rifle in an intermediate cartridge. So what select fire means is you have semi-automatic, like this AR-15, and then right over here would be another selection for fully automatic or 3-round burst. And it is chambered in an intermediate cartridge like 223, which is not, as a matter of fact, a powerful cartridge when you compare it relative to other rifle cartridges. 223 is one of the weakest centerfire cartridges you can get in a rifle. So every time I've ever heard someone call an AR-15 a high-powered rifle, they obviously don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
It's got lots of power.
Well, you see these magazines here, that gives it the extra, the plus 10 bonus killing.
Yes, all 5 rounds in those magazines.
This pin right here is what kills the baby when it comes out.
I feel like I need another beer. Hold on a second. Let me chug this one.
Okay, so
chug.
I was doing some basically back of the napkin math on what this is actually going to cost, because some people are speculating that they budgeted $200 million for this in 1 year. I don't think that that's actually what it is. I just don't think they've budgeted this in their platform because they don't want to tell Canadians what it's actually going to to cost.
Dude, it's the Liberals. The budget will balance itself.
The budget isn't even going to balance itself. They've abandoned that. They're running a $27 billion deficit next year, and it's going to keep getting worse. We're never going to come back to balanced budgets under Trudeau.
Give away the money to all the people we've wronged before.
But, yeah, so what it is, basically, the numbers they've been saying are 250,000 rifles for a cost of about $400 million with an estimate of $1,500 per rifle. That is a gross underestimate of what's going to happen, especially since there's been a number of news articles coming out saying that one of the things they're going to ban is the SKS. And we know that if they're going to give this to the RCMP, yeah, they're going to ban the SKS, they're going to ban the AR, the WK, the Stag 10, the BCL 102, anything that takes a pistol magazine.
Let's talk about the language, because one of the things that, like, we don't have much to go on. The language that they've used is they're going to ban assault rifles like the AR-15. Now, the AR-15 is just PR, right? That's just to get to put something in people's minds. Oh, yeah, AR. Yeah, go ahead and ban those ARs.
Put the mass killer guns on the spotlight. This is the one that the mass killers use.
Yeah.
Not in Canada, they don't.
Not in Canada. But just hang on for a second.
Not even in the state.
So they said like the AR-15. Assault rifles like the AR-15. The AR-15 is not an assault rifle. So you get off the hop that they're going to be banning something out there. Now, is it going to be semi-automatic, box-fed, center-fire rifle? Is it going to be semi-automatic, box-fed? Is it going to be semi-automatic, center-fire? If they're doing the SKS, you can't have the box-fed definition in there. So
there's
it could
absolutely
be...
a box on
Dude, they're not
just not a
going to...
detachable
CTV, I believe it was reported, that they are going to give it to the RCMP. Aside from by name banning the AR, they're going to tell the RCMP that they have free reign to ban any gun that they want. And we know the RCMP has had the SKS on a list for years.
But they might not ban anything then, because if anything, the RCMP has been extremely dogmatic about the definitions of the law, and they've just been, I guess, overzealous about parts of it. They've been overzealous about the Blaze 47, about the GSG 5, and that kind of thing.
Because they're constrained by the current law. The issue with this is if they've had there was a list that circulated years ago of, I believe it was 13 rifles the RCMP wanted prohibited, but they couldn't because they don't have the authority to ban guns outright. That has to be passed by council. If they're going to just delegate this authority to the RCMP and say you can ban whatever the fuck you want right now, the RCMP is basically going to ban anything that takes a pistol mag that's a rifle, almost anything semi-automatic. Like they might not ban the Browning bar and some duck hunting shotgun.
No, it's semi-auto. The semi-autos are going. The semi-autos are going.
But basically,
I think it's going to be a definition ban. I think they're going to pick a definition, whether it be one of those ones that I described there, and they're going to go for it, because just having the cops do it is way too messy.
That's what they've
it's too
apparently
messy
said.
and inconsistent because the cops will say, well, I guess we'll make a list and check it twice. And, okay, if we think we got them all, there's something else that's weird that's come into the country.
But that's the thing is, if they just if they just give the authority, the RCMP, if they find something else, can go and say, oh, by the way, that's banned too now. And then later on, oh, there's something else we missed, that's also banned. Oh, we missed another thing, that's also banned. And then because they're just letting the RCMP choose, we'll end up like Australia, where they literally are banning.
Buyback, right? If it's supposed to be a buyback, you have to.
There is no way. I don't think. I think the whole idea of buyback is just an election promise, just like voter reform, and they're going to go and say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna try to buy the guns back," but you know what the easiest spin is? We don't want the Canadian public to be on the hook for buying weapons that kill people. So they're just gonna fucking drop that and say they're banned. You turn them in,
or price them low because it costs too much.
I mean, as I was mentioning, I was doing some quick napkin math. Basically, most people at this point, I think, are expecting at least New Zealand, if not Australia, level of bans in this. We know from the days of the long gun registry, there were 2.8 million semi-automatic firearms, semi-automatic long guns in the country, and there were 2.2 million pump action. And we also know that the registry numbers were horrendously incorrect, and that there have been millions of guns imported since the abolition, especially semi-automatic firearms, and especially the SKS. So when you look at the numbers of what they're actually going to end up banning, if we go to New Zealand banned most pump-action shotguns because they could accept a tube extension. They banned most semi-automatic shotguns for that. They banned basically any currently existing semi-automatic rifle. They banned a number of lever-action firearms and some bolt-action firearms as well. When you look at what we currently have in Canada that New Zealand banned, based on just the numbers from 2012 from the Long Gun Registry, if they go and New Zealand ban, they are banning about 5 million of the 7.7 million guns that were in Canada at the time. And when he says that semi-automatic has no place in Canada, he's objectively wrong. 2.8 million, it was the most popular kind of action of firearm in the day, and it's only gotten more popular. And that's just about 5-ish million guns that we know about. There was also the fact that the registry is anywhere between 48 to 33% accurate, so there could be as many as 3 times that. Even if we go and just take this number, the cost down from their 1,500 estimate to 1,000, you look at this and they're going to ban about 5 million guns with a New Zealand-style buyback. That's $5 billion to do that, and it will eliminate like a good 2/3 of the guns in the country. If we go and assume that the numbers are incorrect, they could end up spending more than $20 billion to do this over a span of 2 years that they have not costed for in their platform. The Long Gun Registry died on $2 billion over 17 years, and that was considered to be an unacceptably high amount of money to spend on something that accomplished nothing. And now they're going and saying that they're going to spend up anywhere from like 2.5 to as much as 10 times the cost of the Long Gun Registry over a fraction of the amount of time to accomplish the exact same thing, which is nothing. This will accomplish nothing. I really don't think that if someone actually properly runs this, the problem is getting these numbers out to people. The media is just not going to report it. But if someone does get these numbers out to people, when they go and say this is going to cost literally more, like orders of magnitude more than the Long Gun Registry that did nothing, people are not going to support this.
Yeah, they will.
That's the government money. That's not your money.
Exactly.
It seems that the left side does not care about the deficits and actually wants more.
You gotta save all the children.
Yeah. All. It doesn't matter. Even if it saves one life, it's worth the $20 billion.
Yep.
So I guess we need to ban cars and alcohol, knives, and everything else. Because after all,
not alcohol. We make tax revenue off that.
Fuck, you're right. We do.
Sell fentanyl. Get tax money off that.
Yeah,
when it comes to if it saves one life argument, the cynical response to that is insurance companies put a financial value on one life. It is not. $20 billion is not the financial value of one life.
I don't like either the conservatives or the left side on lives are valuable. I just don't think they are. There's like 7 billion of us in this fucking world. Like we're not that valuable.
Time to get carbon neutral. That was an
accident. He's a beautiful little accident, but that kid showed up unexpected.
Holy. When he comes back and watches these videos, he'd be like, "Fuck you, Dad."
YouTube will ban him
By the
before
time he's
then.
old
Don't worry.
enough, by the time he's old enough to search for this video, he already know. He will already know.
That's
You
why
already
Daddy
know.
got arrested.
That night he was crushing beers and cursing at the government. That was the
And
day that
popping
did
loaded
it.
rounds out of his gun.
No, he didn't have any guns. That was his problem. He couldn't defend himself against the RCMP.
When they kicked the door
Gestapo.
down, he was throwing forks at him.
Quick! He's got a pointed weapon.
Shoot him!
Shoot him!
You got a license for that fork?
Oh God.
It was an assault fork because he threw 3 at once.
Oh no, that's an assault drawer. It has a high capacity of forks.
Yeah.
Have we made enough dark comedy yet?
I
How
don't know.
about this?
I think 3 of the 4 of us live in areas where it's like strongly conservative, and it doesn't matter what we vote for and what we tell our neighbors to vote for.
Oh! Speaking about that, handgun bans. No.
Okay, yeah. So on that matter, obviously every fucking mayor in Ontario has said they would, pretty much. Especially since I'm in Toronto and John Tory was the first fucking hypocritical asshole to jump on that shit. The issue is it's unconstitutional, and I don't mean in regards to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I mean in regards to the fundamental core documents of the division of legal authority in this country.
Tracy, is law in Canada federal or provincial or municipal?
Criminal legislation, criminal law is the sole purview of the federal government, and there is no mechanism in the Constitution for them to delegate that to a lower level of government.
So what you're telling me is that the Liberals, in all their searches for equality and whatever it is they're fucking talking about lately, they're going to change the Constitution, not for any of their other objectives, but to let municipalities ban handguns.
They literally cannot change the Constitution. They do not have the support of enough provinces to hold a constitutional convention to accomplish this. They'll pass the law ignoring the Constitution, like they always do, like they did with the drunk driving legislation, and then it will go to court. There's a number of lawyers who own guns, very prominent lawyers who own guns, who will do this just because they're going to get fucked, if nothing else.
Well,
and
you're assuming they're going to make it criminal. What if they just put it in bylaw? Hey, if you got a pistol, it's a $500 fine per day. You cannot have a pistol in Toronto.
It's
not only
independent of
that,
whether they have the authority to do that.
Not only that, but they have the list. Crazy. We see you have 4 handguns. You're going to need to get rid of those by Friday. And if you
believe me, if Toronto could do that, Toronto could do that, they already would. And I don't think that they're able to give that kind of authority.
I don't think they can right now because it's federally okay and it's federally licensed. And I
the
think
federal government can't delegate that to the municipalities, though. The municipality does not exist in accordance to the Constitution or the federal government. That's why they keep talking about we have to give the authority to the provinces to give the authority to the municipalities. But even then, I don't believe that they are able to do that, especially since the ban they are talking about, when they say ban, that to me carries with it criminal connotations, which they cannot do. This will get challenged to the Supreme Court. There will be an injunction placed on it coming into force until it is settled in the court of law, because it disproportionately affects a large number of people. So it essentially will end up in a court battle if it happens that will take years to settle. It won't be. I expect that there will be an injunction, so it won't be enforced while the court battle's taking place. And in that time, we'll probably be able to kick the Liberals out and get a conservative government, and he'll just repeal the whole thing.
Hopefully.
Hey, speaking about elections, how's that going?
So the Conservatives have popular vote. They've had popular vote very consistently, but the problem with that is it's very skewed because their popular vote is mostly because of Alberta. The Conservatives are going to be like you can basically take a blue paintbrush and paint it from fucking Manitoba across to the Greater Vancouver River Delta, and there you go. There's where the Conservatives are winning, is everything in rural BC, everything in Alberta, everything in Saskatchewan, and all but 2 ridings in Manitoba.
And you know the
Fuck you.
shitty thing is that
Garrett, this is your fault. We're gonna lose the election because of you.
It's NDP, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
the shitty thing is that in terms of the number of MPs per person voting, Alberta is by far getting the short end of the stick. We have 127,000 people in Alberta per rep, compared to 119,000 in BC, 118,000 in Ontario, 108 in Quebec, and then you get to the Atlantic provinces, and it's like totally fucked. PEI has 4 seats, and they've got like 150,000 people, so they've got basically 38,000 people per seat, which means that an Albertan vote is worth less than a quarter of a vote in PEI.
The reason for that is because they are constitutionally required to have at least 4 ridings per province, and PEI is a province.
Barely.
So,
I mean, they got no population.
I know. PEI should be a territory. Sorry to everyone PEI, but PEI's got the population of a fucking territory.
It's a very nice place. It just doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't deserve that amount of representation for the size and population it has.
I feel like there's some condos in Toronto with more people in it than the entirety of PEI.
Well, maybe not a condo, but definitely a city block.
Oh, there's more people on like one subway train.
150,000?
Okay, maybe not one. So there's more people. There's 450 to at this point, it's probably more than 500,000 people pass through Bloor Young Station every single day.
My big discrepancy that I have with them saying that the Conservatives aren't polling well in places like Ontario is those are the same exact polls that said the Conservatives had no chance in hell of winning a provincial election. So what's changed in that short of time to fuck them federally? I know that they're different, but they're the same.
As the Ontarian, I can tell you what's fucking them here. It actually is Doug Ford. So Doug Ford was actually a terrible choice for leader of the provincial Conservatives. It should have been Christine Elliott. She actually got more votes than he did and lost because Doug Ford's votes weighed more. But he has been immensely unpopular, and he is a specter that is haunting the federal Conservative campaign all the way through Ontario. Now, the thing with the polls is that's one thing that I took particular issue with is in the lead up to the election and until about 2 weeks before the election.
That was really nice.
Yeah, that one. But in the lead up to the election, about 2 weeks before the election, the polls all had the Conservatives going and winning in a fucking landslide, 40-something%, which is what they got. Coming up until Election Day, all of a sudden, there were a bunch of polls coming out saying the NDP were somehow now ahead of the Conservatives by 1 or 2%. In the end, they weren't. They were 10% behind the Conservatives, just like they were 2 weeks before. And what I think was happening is there were a number of left-wing polling firms and left-wing news organizations who didn't want to accept the reality that Doug Ford was going to win this election. Doug Ford, of all people, was going to win this election. So they had a polling firm try and find them, cherry-pick numbers, to go and say the NDP have a chance of winning in hopes of getting more people more motivated to vote for the NDP, which in the end, that support didn't exist.
It's kind of like the HuffPo Hillary Clinton.
99% chance Hillary Clinton's going to win.
98.5, which is still way too high. Yeah. Anyone who does any statistics would look at that and say, like, you guys are on crack. Like, even with the numbers as they were heading into the election, that was a terrible prediction to make. And I could see how some news publications that are left or right leaning might choose the one that supports their side the most to put out to their readers, so that the readers share it, they get more clicks, they get more revenue. It's purely it's a moneymaker, right?
Yep.
Now the interesting thing is federal polls have actually surprisingly been fairly reliable. When I go and look at historical federal polling data that's available on Wikipedia as an aggregate, it's actually been fairly appropriately representative of the election results. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing, though, is around this time last election, we had going into last election, the NDP were polling above the Conservatives and the Liberals were down here somewhere. Then about this time, all three parties were in a state of flux where they were all switching places for a good week or two or several. It was around this time when the debate started that the NDP support plummeted and Liberal support skyrocketed when people kind of realized that Thomas Mulcair is not going to win this election, and there was a big anyone but conservative movement who just went, support Justin Trudeau.
Remember Thomas Mulcair?
The thing with this is the chance, this is the time period where if people are going to go away from Trudeau, they're going to dip him and go to Jagmeet Singh or, this time around, Elizabeth May. Traditionally, the Conservatives have never won a government with a weak NDP, especially not a majority government. They win governments when the NDP poll above 30 because they take all the votes away from the Liberals. So traditionally, that's happened. We have a really weak NDP right now. We have an NDP polling like 16%. It's nothing. The difference is the Greens have always been 5-6% throwaway, no chance in hell. The Greens are polling above 10% now for the first time ever. And they are another left-wing party that's going to be taking votes away from the Liberals, especially the youth vote that the Liberals got in the last election, because a lot of young people are the ones who are more concerned about the environment and more likely to be voting for the Greens because of their environmental policies.
Can you add this in, too, about the young people in your train of thought, that the young people were single-issue voters voting for one thing, and now that they have legalized marijuana, they're not coming to vote at all.
I don't think that legalized marijuana was as big of the issue. There was a lot more people who voted for electoral reform and who are really pissed off about being scorned on that. Jagmeet Singh promised electoral reform. Jagmeet Singh promised electoral reform. The thing is, what I think is going to happen is Trudeau's going to get shat on in the official debates. This is why he's only showing up to like 2 debates. He is going to get destroyed. Now, it really doesn't matter how well Scheer does, aside from the fact that Bernier is going to be there, and if Bernier does really well, it might detract from Scheer. But realistically, Scheer doesn't really need to do well in these debates. People who are voting for Scheer aren't voting for him because of his performance in the debates. However, the debates are going to be swaying people on the left, and if Trudeau gets shredded like everyone really expects him to by Jagmeet Singh and Elizabeth May especially, that's going to draw a lot of left-leaning voters out of the Liberals and into those two. The only way this doesn't happen is if everyone gangs up on Maxime Bernier at the debates because he's being invited. Since he's a far-right, evil, neo-Nazi, whatever the fuck, there's a possibility that everyone gangs up on him and no one attacks Trudeau, and Trudeau doesn't lose the support that he's going to lose.
Yeah, they need the left to fight amongst themselves and not... Yeah. Like, because Bernier is very far-right, and to have him show up might give them a convenient punching bag.
Exactly. So the thing we need is what we need is the Liberals to look like shit, and Trudeau is going to end up getting shat on in these debates. I fully expect it with all the with the blackface thing, especially. That's going to be brought up by Jagmeet Singh and May.
4 martinis in, and really does a number.
But that'll be the thing. It'll be about the debates. And realistically, as much as everyone outside of Ontario hates hearing it, the reality is the elections are won in Ontario. Quebec likes to think the elections are partially won there. They're not. Quebec doesn't matter. Quebec goes to the Liberals or the Bloc. No one gives a shit. The Conservatives don't need Quebec. When Harper won his majority, he had like 4 seats in Quebec. You don't need Quebec to win an election. What you need is the 905. You need the area around Toronto. Because in Toronto, you get Liberal and NDP. Maybe sometimes North York's outer edges of North York, Etobicoke and Scarborough. Maybe that's where you get Conservatives in. Like Harper got that into Etobicoke and Scarborough, those elections, and it was the first time since I think Brian Mulroney, a Conservative, did. But realistically, it's the 905 area, Mississauga, Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham, and Oshawa. That area is what determines the election. Because everyone knows what Alberta's going to vote for. Everyone knows what Saskatchewan's going to vote for, what Manitoba's going to vote for. Vancouver's not a large enough battleground to really matter. The election is determined by the Greater Toronto area. So that's where the Conservatives need to get their support. And if it wasn't for Doug Ford, the Conservatives would be polling a hell of a lot higher because Doug Ford's policies have been massively unpopular.
I always thought that they should get more votes in the Atlantic provinces. When I was taking a look at a buddy of mine had posted and showed like Alberta is 100% conservative. There's one riding that's like probably conservative, but that's it. And I was like, I wonder how many seats we have versus like Atlantic provinces have more, of course, because of, like you mentioned there's a minimum and there's a couple of other grandfather clauses that they have in there. But I was really surprised at the number of Liberal seats that are going in the Atlantic provinces, because there's a lot of rural voters there. It's primarily like they don't really have any like quote unquote like real cities. Like there's Moncton with like 400,000 people. It's like a big Red Deer, and
Yeah.
and that's it. But they're hardcore liberal, and it's very odd.
I've
because I thought
heard.
it'd be more
I don't know what it is, but
programs.
I've heard social programs for all the out of work fisheries in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia is what I've heard.
They
But
need to
and with those people, apparently there were times like it's the issue of a government will cater to the people who votes for it, and so they'll ignore parts of the country that don't. Like, look at Alberta's being fucked by the Liberals, just like it was fucked by the Liberals last time.
The problem with Alberta is that we get screwed every which way, because the Conservatives will give away our money to try to buy votes in Ontario and Quebec, like transfer payments and that kind of thing. We're a conservative construct. But the thing is, so they know they have our votes, and the other guys will build policies against us anyways. Alberta gets screwed every which
Alberta
way.
gets screwed everywhere, but the thing is they know they're a safe thing. But the same thing with out east, the Conservatives don't put money out there because they don't win out there. And because they don't win out, because they're not putting any money in there, no one out east is likely to vote for them. So it ends up being this cycle there of, I'm just going to keep voting Liberal because the Conservatives don't give me anything.
Sure hope that electoral.
But, yeah, that's the thing is when I was looking over it, Newfoundland and Labrador right now, I think has one riding that says likely Liberal on 338, and everyone else is safely Liberal right now. It could change. Who knows? The trend in Atlantic Canada towards Conservatives is mostly in New Brunswick, because even Nova Scotia doesn't have much. PEI, I think, has one place waffling to the NDP, but in New Brunswick, most of the ridings are considered safe Conservative seats right now, the last thing I saw. The Conservatives actually are surprisingly picking up steam in Quebec that they haven't had before, despite not having a Quebec leader. Like, realistically, if Maxime Bernier had won leadership of the Conservative Party, they would be picking up a lot of Quebec, I expect, especially from the Bloc, because Quebec votes for Quebec. That's why Jack Layton won so much in 2011 versus Michael Ignatieff. Michael Ignatieff was an American. Jack Layton was born in Montreal. So when the Quebecois looked at who was the most Quebec candidate that wasn't the Bloc, they went Jack Layton. He was born in Montreal. He's the most Quebec candidate, and that's why the Orange Wave in Quebec happened, is because Jack Layton was born in Montreal.
We need to bring your cat into the discussion, Crazy.
She's sleeping.
No, we need to bring your cat into this discussion.
We need to bring your cat into the discussion.
This has gotten way too political. We need the cat.
We need the cat.
So can I just start calling myself the Canada Guns political analyst at this point?
You are the Canada Guns political
Canada
analyst.
Guns
What do you think I went, hey, Crazy, X, Y, and Z, and you X, Y, and Z.
Hey,
But,
Crazy,
yeah.
weaponize that.
Okay, how about this? Take that sweet-ass webcam you've got and point it down.
Whoa. Did this just take a turn?
There's
the
kitty.
cat.
Why are you showing us weenus?
But, yeah, basically, like almost every election, this election is going to be won in the Greater Toronto area.
So, what
Fuck
you
the
need to
T-dot.
realize is if you are in a 100% the Liberal candidate is getting in, you need to look around you. You need to look around you and see where the NDP is polling, where the Greens are polling. Not where the Conservatives are polling, because they're not going to get in there. Where they're going to split the left vote.
Just
and support
something to stave it off for 4 more years.
That's the
Jesus.
thing. In Toronto, here, we're not going to, like, unless you're in the far reaches of Etobicoke, Scarborough, North York, whatever, if you're somewhere in the core like me, I live in a fucking safe, it's considered a safe Liberal riding. It went NDP once, and then we elected an independent twice, but he used to be a Liberal.
Split the left vote.
Yep. That's the thing that you need to be
Infighting,
working
bro.
on in safe left areas is get people out for the NDP. Get people away from the Liberals and get them for the NDP. Especially if you have friends in the city who are left wing, who you're talking to, don't try and convince them to vote Conservative. You're never going to convince them to vote Conservative. Get them to vote for the NDP or the Greens. Split that left vote, because that split left vote is what leads to the Conservatives forming a government. The more ridings the NDP can take from the Liberals, the more likely the Conservatives are to win in the ridings that they actually have a chance, the ridings that are contentious.
And the only reason we give a shit is we kind of want to keep our guns and not have to
This guy.
sell them
Look at
and get them
Look at my
confiscated.
purple
And
penis on my gun.
that would be illegal in the
purple
U.S.
penis here?
Yes,
Maybe.
it would be. It would also be illegal because this is technically a 14-inch barrel on a rifle with
I
a
mean, the thing I
non-pin
love-
and welded break.
This
And
is 15.7 inches.
And none of those ARs have been used to shoot anyone, and they won't be used to shoot anyone because
Guess what?
statistically the
Hey,
odds
you
are.
want to know a fun fact? I don't know about you guys, but I'm the only one that's been involved in gun crime, and I'm pretty sure that did not involve illegal guns.
The only person.
Wait,
with
Drunken.
So you
drunken
used
rednecks.
your shotgun to knock off a 7-Eleven, or
No, it was like the time a drunken redneck threatened to kill me.
Oh,
Yeah.
the safari hat. Yeah.
Safari hat
Yeah.
incident.
Safari hat?
Safari hat.
Safari hat.
So, yeah. Yep.
Cool.
You know, as a victim of gun violence, I do not advocate for more gun control. And that's how we're going to wrap up this fucking show. Adriel,
Press the stop button.
what are you going to plug? Are you going to plug CCFR? Not
I
the
don't know.
CCFR.
Yeah,
Slamfire Radio.
CCFR is doing some stuff. Slamfire
Oh,
is doing some
fuck!
stuff.
I just forgot. We were gonna talk about the subreddit. Political posts are going away. We're gonna stick them on political super threads Tuesday, Thursdays. If you don't like it, go to On Guard for the
Honk
or
on Bobo.
Canada, or go fuck yourself.
Or dial into our show and talk politics with us.
Oh yeah, there you go. Also, we're doing an AMA, hopefully, potentially with the CCFR. There's the scoop.
What? Oh, the Canada Guns subreddit is?
Yep.
Nice.
There's the scoop. Say goodbye, everybody. Go watch Slamfire Radio. Sell your non-restricteds. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I am 4 beers in, and it's far too much for me. Adriel, say goodnight.
Good night.
Crazy, say goodnight.
Good night.
Garrett, say goodnight.
Fuck Trudeau.
Fuck Trudeau.